Is up, podcast community? This is Three Questions Podcast. My name is Cam King. Tonight I have a massive test tomorrow, but I am taking a quick study break because I want to put out episode number 12 of Three Questions Podcast. I'm looking at three very good questions from John from Pennsylvania, and I will get into those in a moment. As you know, my name is Cam. I am founder, owner of CK Collective. CK Collective started out, ironically, as an advertising and marketing agency during COVID. I got laid off when I was a new business development director for Opus Agency. At the time, it was a 600 person plus agency. Got laid off due to COVID. Was assured my job would not be laid off, but we lost Amazon, Microsoft, and maybe Uber or Facebook as a client for like the next 18 months due to the pandemic at the time. And I had to freelance my business. So what I ended up doing is I started teaching marketing, sales, and doing marketing sales for small businesses. I started doing it for entrepreneurs, for smaller agencies that still needed to produce money, either teaching them in coaching sessions, or I put together business and sales plans and executed that in my own time. Now I have launched, I still do the 1 hour sessions that you can book on the site. And I also have a one-time purchase product, CMO for hire. If you're a small business or looking to bring someone on with 13 plus years of marketing, sales, advertising, new business experience, networking, partnerships, events, you name it, technology, I can show you the way. If you are looking to get investors, put together a product, a business plan, a service. I have built companies myself. I have built a company and got it to over $1 million in sales. That company is still around today. I am no longer part of that. I love marketing and sales, helping businesses grow, figuring out their why, putting that together. Okay. And this is why this podcast is here. That is literally one of my favorite things to do. It gives me so much energy talking about new business, how to start businesses, teaching, learning, sharing, growing, making mistakes, adapting, networking, going out to panels, going out to conferences, events, dinners, brunches, happy hours, you name it. The most fun. So I want to get into this podcast. This is episode number 12. Before we get too far down the rabbit hole, I will start with question number 1 here. Let's go. Question number 1 from John from Pennsylvania. While you may need to spend money to make money, when it comes to giving freely of your time, especially for clients or potential clients, in what ways can you create some healthy boundaries? Okay. So I'm going to focus on the last part of this, okay? And basically in terms of business and with clients, what are some ways you can create healthy boundaries to make sure you do not get taken advantage of? Holy cow. I talk to my clients about this all the time. And if you are one of my current clients, I am telling you that this is going to sound very familiar, okay? Protocols, boundaries, non-negotiables. Protocols, boundaries, and non-negotiables. I want to go over each one of those really quick. Protocols are actions that you take when something happens, okay? You know, if one of your protocols is, hey, every single day I'm going to invest $5, or every single day I'm going to get up and do 40 or 50 push-ups, as many push-ups as I can in a row, first thing in the morning to get my blood flowing. One of my protocols is to take a 2-minute cold shower every single day, okay? I will end my shower, or even sometimes just begin and end my shower in 2 minutes, all with freezing cold, as cold as it will go. That is one of my protocols. Okay. Another one of my protocols is when somebody addresses me, I do not respond. If somebody addresses me in a negative way, I do not respond. That's my protocol. Okay. Here's where we sort of get into the boundary aspect though. Okay. If someone addresses me by a name that I don't like to be called, right? If someone's like, hey, Gumby, I'm talking to you. Okay. I do not turn around. I do not give them any attention. That is my protocol for that. My boundary is that they have now called me a name that I do not like and do not respond to. Therefore, I do not respond. Okay. But if it's one of my buddies, sure, okay, maybe. But my boundary is I do not let someone disrespect me or my friends or people that I care about. Okay. I don't take things personally. That's another one of my boundaries. Another one of my boundaries is I really don't like watching people get bullied. Okay. It's one thing when you're part of a tribe and you kind of rag on each other, you know, friends that grow up or people that work together really close, that's fine. But you always need to be very wary of somebody else's boundaries. Okay. And I think that when you can understand and ascertain what somebody else's boundaries are and own when you cross them, such as hurting somebody else or having them hurt you, it shows a level of maturity that is greatly, greatly respected by all. Okay, so you have your protocols, which are the things that you do each and every single day, regardless of, sun, wind, rain, shine, doesn't matter, snow. Your boundaries are when knowing when somebody crosses them or not, and you being able to sort of say, hey, I don't like that. Okay, please don't do that again. You can tell somebody one time, hey, that's actually crossing a boundary for me. I don't feel healthy with that. Okay, please don't call me by that name. You can tell someone once. The next time, that person loses your attention. That's it. You don't owe them anything. You don't pay them respect. You don't trust them. You can cut people off after boundaries. Your non-negotiables. These are like the ocean liner cruises of your life. Okay. And I'll explain this quick. Your non-negotiables are literally these cruise liners. Okay. Things that you do in your life. A non-negotiable for me, exercise every single day, makes everything better. Another non-negotiable for me, spending time with my dog. Another non-negotiable for me, listening to 30 minutes of affirmations at one point all at once throughout my day. It powers me up. These things are non-negotiables in my life. Okay. Calling my family members at least once a week. I'm Italian and Irish. I need to do that. These are non-negotiables, things that are anchored permanently into my life. And around that, I can sort of collectively build everything else. So in terms of creating healthy boundaries, your protocols, and your non-negotiables are those healthy boundaries. If you feel like you are getting taken out of those, you need to have the self-awareness and intuition and spend enough time on your own to say, hey, I feel like people are crossing my boundaries on a consistent basis. That will drain your energy. That will take away your life force. That will make it very difficult for you to stand up for yourself. And the first time you do stand up for yourself, it will be the most difficult, but it gets easier every single time after that. Learn how to say no. Men in this world, and women too, when you can learn how to say no, mean it, walk away, don't need to negotiate, don't need to negotiate with terrorists or negotiate with our minds or negotiate with anybody else, because we have our boundaries, our protocols, and whatever else. Okay, excuse me, boundaries, protocols, and non-negotiables. When you get those things in line, holy cow, life becomes better. Message me if you want to talk more about that. I will make a video on that as well. Question number 2. One day you decide to start a business. What are the 5 steps someone must take / do on day 1? Holy cow. Great question. Okay. I haven't thought about this, but normally if I'm going to make a list like this, I will do it, but I'll do it off the top of my head. Okay. Step number 1, figure out your why. Okay. Why are you starting that business? To make money, to get acquired, to become famous, to get clout, because that's your passion, because you think you can make money at it, because you think you can be best at it. Whatever it is, you need to be brutally fucking honest with yourself. And I'm talking about brutally honest with yourself. Holy shit, this is a passion of mine. I want to start a business here. Okay. You're going to hate that thing at some point, whatever it is. You need to understand that you will sabotage yourself. You will hate what you do day in and day out. There will be ups and downs with starting a business, but you have to figure out your why. That's number 1. Okay. Number 2, figure out who your market is. Who are you trying to sell to? Are you trying to sell to soccer moms? Are you trying to sell to children? Are you trying to sell to everybody? Are you trying to sell to C-suite executives? Are you trying to sell to grandparents? Are you trying to sell to retirees? Are you trying to sell to lawyers? Figure out who the hell your market is. Okay. And then figure out, here's number 3, figure out who your market is. Then figure out where they buy. Okay. Figure out where your market buys. Do they buy online? Do they buy local? Okay. What are your competitors doing? Where do people buy the stuff that you are trying to sell? Is it a product? Is it a service? Is it both? Okay. Where do people buy those things? Okay. I'm actually going to turn that into number 4. Is it a product or product, service, or both? I'm going to tell you that one is easier than the other. Okay. Products typically tend to be a little bit easier, but harder to procure or make. Services tend to take up more time. Okay. Products take up more time on the front end because you need to design those things. You need to build them, acquire the parts. All of that stuff takes a little bit of time, but you have to figure out whether you have a product, a service, or both. That is super important. Okay. Last one. What are the 5 steps someone must take and do on day 1? This is a good one. This is a really good one. The biggest thing that you need to do when you are starting a business on day one, you need to ask yourself, am I in it for a long haul? Am I in it for the dip? If you have not read Seth Godin's The Dip, I highly recommend that you get yourself a copy and start reading that book today. He talks about how successful people will quit often and they quit early. Okay. But the people that stay in and work through the dip, they better come out and be the best. Because if you go all the way through the dip and you come out of that and you are still on the bottom rung, you are in trouble, my friend. And this is how really successful, really rich people, great companies, when they see the market coming out of it and they see the potential dips that they're going to have to go through, and they go, you know what, we're not going to come out on top on that. They will quit that project. They will sabotage that project. And I wish more people would do this in life. I wish more people would take a longer look at things and be like, there's going to be some pitfalls there. Am I willing to work through those pitfalls in order to become the best? You have got to ask yourself that question. Am I willing to work through the pitfalls in order to become the best at this? You have to ask yourself that question on day one. And if that answer is no, I'm not willing to work through the pitfalls to become the best, then you have got to hang it up, my friend. Okay? You have got to hang it up, and you have got to find some other sort of inspiration, something coming from your intuition, some sort of other creative aspect that you can put forth in this world. The things that you will be willing to work through the dip and all the bad times and all the hard times and all the lack of money and the lack of support and lack of orders, if you're not willing to work through that sort of adversity in order to become the best, in order to provide something of value to other people that are willing to pay you money for it, then you need to hang it up. Okay. But if you are willing to work through that, you have got to work through that. It has got to be a cast or tab mentality. Okay. You have got to say, I would rather die than not be successful here. That is what it is going to take. It is going to take and require some sort of ultimate sacrifice, not literally, but from an emotional and creative investment. You are going to have to put all that you are, all that you can into that one project and work through the dip in order to become the best. And if you're not willing to do that, that business, that project, that idea is not for you. Okay. That's all I got for question number 2. I got a little bit of chills on that, so I hope you did too. Episode 12, 3 questions podcast. Please keep submitting questions. I love when people submit new questions. Question number 3. If you just started a business, what are the 3 things you can do to accelerate revenue? Holy cow. This really relates to your money aspect. I will tell you this. Having an idea for a business is a great thing. And it is something that I think everybody should do. Not everybody has the entrepreneurship bug. Not everybody gets bitten by it. But when you do, it is so great. Because even as an entrepreneur, I come up with things that I'm like, holy cow, I would love that. I should make a company about that. And then I talk to other people about that. And then they're like, who's going to buy that? You're the only person I know that would buy that. Sure, there's a little bit of healthy amount of skepticism, but here's a better idea. One thing that you can do to accelerate revenue is to ask who you think your potential buyers are, what it is that they want. Okay. Say you're starting a supplement company for, I don't know, military dudes. Okay. How many military dudes have you talked to? What supplements do they take? What do they want in their supplements? How do they want to take their supplements? What are they willing to spend for those supplements? Okay. What's of interest to them? What do they know about supplements? What do they not know about supplements? Maybe you can put a QR code on a supplement thing that has other military guys talking about what this is, right? I don't know. But you need to figure out ways to find out what your potential customers want before you create that product. That's number 1. That's how you can accelerate revenue. Okay. If you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, a marketing person, a salesperson, and you're like, this would be a great product, and you haven't done any sort of market research, dude, you're wrong. Okay. Talk to your freaking customers, figure out what it is that they want, and then sell them the solution. Holy cow. That's how you accelerate revenue. Number 2, partnerships. So many businesses are bad at and terrible at cross-marketing partnerships. This is one of the oldest tactics in the book. Why do you think all these different companies all set up shop in the same malls, right? Because they know that if they bring all of their customers together, they're all going to make money collectively, hopefully, mostly. Okay. When you cross market, you tie yourself to other brands. Okay. You start coordinating a spider web that is going to be able to be built a little bit quicker than if you try to do it all on your own. Okay. No man is an island, right? Reach out to other similar companies, reach out to companies you respect, figure out a way that you can cross market or cross promote, whether it's just on social media or something else. They used to do these things on Instagram called pods. Okay. Groups of businesses would pod together and they would tag each other in mutual posts and share their followers and be like, hey, one day, hey, go to this page, subscribe to them, blah, blah, blah. I'm giving away X, Y, and Z. Tag 3 friends and I'll pick 3 random winners and post them in 24 hours. That used to be huge. Cross marketing is still big and it's still underrated. A lot of people don't do this. A lot of entrepreneurs especially do not do this. You have got to find ways to accelerate revenue. And lastly, here's what I'll say with this. If your products aren't selling, easy solution. You're either targeting the wrong people or you don't have enough customers or you have the wrong products. Okay. So I would say your audience is probably off keel. Okay. Either you're not doing enough new business or you're not doing enough advertising, or the people that you are targeting and advertising is wrong. Okay. Something to think about there for sure. Or your products stink. Did you do your market research? Did those people tell you that those were the products that they wanted? It's an easy yes or no. Only you can be super honest with yourself. And if you're not super honest with yourself, I would ask you why you're not being super honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Ask yourself if these are products that you would buy if you saw them on Facebook, on Instagram, anywhere else, somebody told you about them. Is your product the best? What are you doing to make your product the best in your market? Do you have competitors that are outselling you or have better products than you? You need to figure out where the chink in the armor is, and you have got to start there. You cannot sell bags of shit for thousands of dollars. Okay. And I know companies do that. And I know you're already thinking about some companies that are. Okay. McDonald's will sell you shit in a bag, but tastes pretty good going down, doesn't it? I'm all out of time. That is it for 3 Questions podcast. A pretty spicy one. I think I'm a little bit overwhelmed from studying a little bit too much tonight, but I want you guys to continue submitting questions. You guys are building businesses. You guys are listening to this in order to become better human beings, to become better business people, better CEOs, to be a better version of yourself. And I'm here for that. That is what CK Collective is all about. It is not me. It is all of the clients, all the entrepreneurs, all of the businesses. It's a spider web. It's a network. Okay. It's an ethereal network to help you get to the next level of your life and or business and both and relationships. Submit questions on whatever it is that you are working on. I will do research. I will share mistakes, lessons, things from my life to help you get there. I promise. Go book some sessions on my website, ckcollective.co. My email is 3questionspodcast@gmail.com or info@ckcollective.co. I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you have a magnificent day, magnificent week. And remember, what you give, you get to keep. And what you fail to give, you lose forever. So make every freaking day count. Okay. I'm fired up. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't know when I'm going to post it, but until then, see you later.